Good evening. Tonight I am going to share with you my backyard makeover. We went from drab to fab using a vintage garden style. This is my monthly recurring challenge, room by room. I'll tell you about my co-hosts a little later. Welcome to my channel, Freckled Mom DIY. I'm Devin. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, hey. On my channel, we do easy crafts, DIY decor, thrift flipping, and more. So without further ado, let's make over this backyard. So we are going to get started by refreshing our furniture. So this furniture got espresso on it. And my light furniture, I use heirloom white. We spray painted everything. And then my furniture for tables here got a nice coat of mint. These are beautiful pieces. These also got a coat of espresso. So now we are going to DIY some furniture. While our spray paint is drying, I have this old sewing table. I went to my father-in-law. As you guys know, I am not very handy with a saw, and he is super helpful. So here he is. He is just measuring out the top of this sewing table. We're going to be making a DIY table, and this is a nice piece of wood he is sawing up for me. We have a whole lot of family over today helping with this project or watching us work on this project, although my father-in-law is doing most of the work. He's cleaning up this wood here right now, and it fits perfect, guys. So I am so in love with it. And then he decided to cut off the corners to finish off the piece. So this is everything that he is doing. I do not have any measurements for this, as this is a vintage sewing table. So of course he is so helpful and loves to do all this woodworking for me. Right here he is mitering the edges just again to finish off this piece. And I was going to paint it. Here is an inspiration picture of what I found on Pinterest. Although now that I'm seeing it all sanded down with that wood and the black, I just love this. So he is going to screw on the top here, and that is all he had to do to keep this secure. These screws are very stable, and you can see it is perfect. And again, I wanted to paint this like the inspiration all white, but now that I see this stain, I just love it. And we tried a couple different stains, and we ended up just going with a very light stain. This is personal preference. If you were to do this project, you could paint the entire thing, although I want to keep this outside, so I don't want the paint to chip off, and that's why I decided to keep it with this natural wood color. Plus, I just love this contrast between the metal and the wood. I just think it is so beautiful. And I don't know if I'm going to keep it outside, guys, because I just love this piece so much. I think it needs to go indoors where I can see it all day long. But for right now, it's out in the garden. Let me know what you think. Would you keep it this wood in the black, or would you have spray painted it and painted it white like the inspiration picture? Let me know down in the comments. This backyard was professionally done last year, and as you can see, I'm not too happy with the job they did. So my husband is going in and he's fixing it. He's making this corner into an actual corner. So we're taking off all these bricks, and you can see here there are some cement that they use to keep the bricks in place, although over this past year it did not last. So we took all those bricks off, and now he is digging a little trench, and he's just cleaning this up and getting rid of all the rocks. And I did go in and help at one point, so he did not do this on his own. There was a lot of weeds to pull, and then he did go through and put the brick now at an angle, so we have this nice little corner that we can do some kind of artwork to. So I do love how this came out. Of course, I'm a little upset we had to redo some of the bricks here that we professionally paid for, but it is okay because now it is definitely something I love even more. As I mentioned before, this is my monthly recurring challenge, room by room, and this month our co-host is my beautiful friend Favi from Arrows DIY. Our theme is vintage garden. Favi is a mom. She's super sweet, super funny, and super talented. I just love her. So make sure you check out the link to her channel and also follow along the playlist to see more vintage garden inspiration. Last week I shared with you guys this ladder makeover, so I'm not going to go into detail. If you want to watch the full video, I'm going to link it below, but this is such an easy project and it definitely brought my backyard to that vintage garden feel that I was going for. I just love this so much, and I think it is super sweet. And again, if you want to watch a full video, the link is down in my description. So I did plant lavender, thyme, and rosemary, my favorite herbs. And then you can see I have a little flower in the back there, and I think that is super sweet. Here is where I'm going to be putting this solar lamp. So I just dug a little bit down, and this solar light was originally silver. I spray painted it with that espresso. And now we're going to garden, guys. So here are a bunch of different planters, and these are definitely vintage. So here, you can't really see, but I'm planting some sunflowers and some vines to go up that trellis. And then here is a little vintage, like camping pot. I'm not sure what it's called, but here I just put some dirt in it and I planted some random wildflowers. I did a bunch of different flowers, all kind of sporadic and wild, and I'm excited to see when they start growing, but right now they are still just starting to sprout. Here, obviously you can't see that, but I did plant some other plants which the dogs did eat so far. So we had to replant those, and you can see that Miko really wanted to get to that before it actually grew. I just think this is so stinking adorable. I just love these little garden figurines I got at Ocean State Job Lot, and I think they add just that extra little touch. Super cute. Here they are starting to sprout, and I wanted to show that. Oh my goodness, so sweet. So I am laying out my fire pit, which we ended up getting a new fire pit, not seen here because that one was kind of rusted. So I'm just arranging the furniture here. That little tiered planter I got at Christmas Tree Shop, and everything is so sweet. Again, this is another project that I did last week in my Makeover May video, so I'm not going to go into detail, but if you want to watch the full tutorial on making a DIY potting bench, go to my description and you can watch the full video there. So here I am just putting it all together. It came out super cute and super easy. So again, down in my description is the full video. So here I'm just adding a cushion to an old chair that I did last year, and it is super cute, and I just love cushions. I think they bring out that cottage feel. So this was a planter outside that we had been growing vegetables in, and now I want to put some butterfly attracting plants there for the dogs. So here's my husband. He is just evening out the ground. We had to dig down a little bit because we live in a very inclined area. And so this is super heavy. It took all the boys to help. And then I went to Home Depot. I got a bunch of different plants, some azaleas and some bushes. And I love all these plants. They were all butterfly attracting plants, again, for the dogs. So this was, again, for vegetables last year. So I had to go through, make sure we got all the veggies up that didn't come up, you know, any kind of bulbs, and then clean up this dirt, take out the leaves, and then we did a mixture of manure and the raised bed soil, and we mixed, I say we, but my husband, he mixed all this up, and this is just really good for a raised bed, whether it be veggies or flowers. I just love this. I cannot wait. Not seen, but this bush right here bloomed, and it is gorgeous white azaleas, and Miko and Ginger just love it. Of course, I love it, but I really wanted the dogs to have that special place to find some butterflies and, you know, just have some flowers to smell. So I did make up these planters that I did put behind the chairs, and I put sunflowers in them. So hopefully one day there will be some nice tall sunflowers that are behind the seating area. So here's my husband. He is just cleaning up all the mess I made with all that extra dirt. And we did plant clover in that patch of the backyard that you cannot see, and I'm hoping that comes up well. And here I'm just cleaning off the rocks with a little rock cleaner and a hose with obviously water, and we are just cleaning this up, and everything came together so perfect. I am so in love with this, guys. Like, I love my home. I love my house. It is built in 1925. It is super old, has so much character, and I just love it. So every space in my home, I want to reflect that love. And outside last year, like I said, we did add the rocks and the bricks and some structure kind of work. So this year I really wanted to make it pretty. You guys have seen me making some little decor pieces here and there for this backyard, and my furniture flips and this ladder and my potting bench. I just love how it all came together. I think it goes very well with a vintage garden theme, which goes with my main thing I have been working with all year, which is my garden cottage. And I just love it. It is such a nice place to go out, sit by the fire, make some s'mores. All the kids can gather around, pull up some chairs, and it is just such a nice time to sit out here in the morning with a coffee and a book and the puppies and just enjoy it. Again, that backyard was sodded last year and it was beautiful, but with two dogs that are very rambunctious, it definitely needed some work. So we did add some clover seeds, and that will be growing in, hopefully. There you can see my sunflowers are starting to sprout. I love this table out here. I think it is beautiful, but I think I want to bring it inside, guys. I love it, and I don't want it to get ruined. And I just love it so much. Let me know down in the comments if you would have done that table in all white like we saw from my inspiration picture. You can see these tables here I had painted with that mint, and then I found this vintage tray, and that was $1.99 at the thrift store. Perfect price for me. Again, this was a tiered planter. I might want to put some plants on it. I'm not sure. It's kind of it kind of slopes because of our backyard, but other than that, it is a good piece to put things on. And again, you guys know I'm all about function, and so this was perfect with all this function over here. I love this. If you love this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And don't forget, this was a playlist, my monthly recurring room by room, and its co-host this month is my good friend Favi. So please check out Favi's channel, Arrows DIY, and also go down to my description. You can also find the playlist, and please follow along because everybody will be bringing some beautiful inspiration for garden vintage. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.